Hey guys, what's up? It's like 9:30 here. It's Sunday morning. Just got up, wanted to get this brew day started and kind of over with, so I'm a little bit nervous about it. So I wanted to get started, but this is the all-electric brew system all put together, and I don't think I've shown it completely assembled and everything. It's a Blickman stand, HLT up there, a mash tun, boil kettle, and I'm also going to be using the Blickman conical, 14.5 gallon conical for the first time today as well, if it wasn't already nerve-wracking enough. So let me show you guys the guts here and what I'm doing. I powered it on, all the wires are hooked up, grounds and all that. What I'd have going on here, HLT was about 77 degrees like 2 minutes ago. I hold in the set button, you set the temperature, and I want to mash in at 164. So I set it for 164, and I set the differential plus or minus 1, so it should hold it within 164. And you can see the HLT is on, mash pump, water pump. I don't have a mash tun probe hooked up to this because I am using a 10 gallon cooler, but if you ever wanted to do a recirculation, excuse me, you could do that, with another temperature probe, which I have over there. You can see there, you can set the mash recirculation. So once the kettle's on, I'll flip that switch, there's a potentiometer, turn up the power. So while this is getting up to 164, I'm going to go shower. And if I take longer or whatever, it's just going to hold it there for 164 until I'm ready for it. One thing I already screwed up, and I realized it about 10 minutes into it, I did not make a yeast starter. I don't know, I'm just kind of freaking out about this whole setup here a little bit. I'm really nervous about it, and it just completely slipped my mind for some reason. So the beer's supposed to be at 1.075 or so, so it's just not crazy, but I would prefer a starter, so I'm not going to have a starter on this one. So I just set up the smack pack, so hopefully in a couple hours it'll be cool. And I'm a little vertically challenged, so I'll have to show you guys what it looks like up here, where this is going. If you see the waviness coming off the water heater element, that is how it works. You hear the sound in there, everything kicking on, but that's the general idea right there. Pretty cool. That's the temperature probe. And that is the float switch. If that goes below the water, or excuse me, above the water, it'll automatically cut off the heater element, so you don't burn it out. So it's kind of a safety measure. But so it's up to 98 degrees. It's probably taking another 20 minutes or so. So I'm gonna go shower and talk to you guys out. So it's now noon. There's been issues. Apparently, when this was built, the guy who built it didn't program all the settings correctly in the temperature, the love controllers. So this, when I would set it to 164, which was my mash temp, would just blow right by it. So I had to let this, got up to like almost 180 degrees. I had to let it cool. I called him and he walked me through it. So now they're both set. I now have this set for it's going to be 180 degrees. This is going to be my Sparge Temperature, and you can hear it just kicked on because I got below the set point of 180. So I don't know if you can hear that. It just kicked on, so you guys can see how that works. So it's been maintaining a temp. Temp's now fine. I'm mashing in. That was a disaster. I mashed in at 164. My grains came out to 144. I'm aiming for 152, so I was 8 degrees off. Here, let me show you that. So you just hit 180 and it shut off. So it's pretty cool how it works. Yeah, so I had to quick get a boiling pot of water. I threw it in there. I got it up to like 149, so I guess 3 degrees. I don't know. It's going to be a dry beer. What did I do wrong? I put hot water in there to warm the mash tun. Maybe I should have used boiling water. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. So that's going. It's got another, I don't know, 25 minutes or so. It's going to go in the boil kettle, so hopefully this will work. I'm going to run through the pump and pump it into there. I've done this with water before just to test it, and it worked okay. Apparently I should have tested water in the entire system first, but this is what I get. So Yeah, and I figured the tough part was going to be getting it from the boil kettle to the fermenter. I thought that's where I was going to have a problem. Oh well, such is a brew day. I'll check in here in a little bit. Alright, so I'm draining the first runnings. Actually, the temperature is about 150 the entire time, so I'm not too super concerned. But you can see how I'm doing it. I took off the boil off already, it's in there. I'm bringing it down through here, boom, back into the kettle. And you can see it's going in there really nicely. And the pump is hooked up to the water pump here. So again, that's controlled by the control panel. My Sparge water is sitting nicely. I want it to be around 180, so it's going to kick on here in a second. Yep, just did. And it's really going good. I was a little bit worried about this part, but so far so good. There you can see it's pulling a lot out, so I better keep an eye on it here. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys how this water filter works. I have water running into it. I have some sanitizer solution down there. I'm just going to fill this, it's the conical. I'm going to fill it with sanitizer. So here we go. So I mean, it's pretty cool. This is, you know, all filtered water at this point. And it fills really quickly. And this is a 14.5 gallon fermenter, so it's really works really nice. So yeah, check out the video on how to build that, and it's pretty easy. Cheers. Alright, so I sparged all the grains. Second sparge, I forgot to foil off. Hopefully it doesn't make that big of a deal. I tell you, it's been one of those brew sessions. About 6.5 gallons there, which is about where I want it to be. And I've got these tubes draining. Yep, so there's that. Then I'm going to come over here. You can see I have the hop stock in there, whatever you want to call it already. About 6.5 gallons. Looks like everything is covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the kettle heat. This is off. Turn on the kettle heat and crank it up to 10. And that's going to start to boil real quickly. And I'll come back with the first hop additions, and you can hear it's already kicked on, steaming. You can see down there kind of a movement from the heating element, but works great. My brewing technique's not so great. I need to brew more, that's my problem. I usually only brew lately. I mean, it's been, you know, once every 6 months or so, so I just get out of practice. I really need to start brewing, you know, every week, every other week, but alright, we'll come back. Okay, so there's the boil. Not quite before. That is a vigorous, vigorous boil. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because that's a bit much. So I'm going to put the hops in. Summit hops. Why not? Alright, so we've been boiling for coming up on 45 minutes. I think 45 minutes. So I'm going to do some more final hop additions here, all the aromatic stuff. A couple issues that I've had. You can see I cleaned up the hot liquor tank, the mash tun. It's evaporating a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. You know, 45 minutes and I'm already gone through a gallon. I think what happened when I had the potentiometer cranked up to 10, it was such a vigorous boil that it went through a lot. So I actually have it on turned down from 10, it's down to 6, and you can see I'm still getting a really nice boil. This hop bag worked great. It's actually a game bag. You know, like if you kill a deer or something, you haul it back. I cut it up and I've sewed them. They're really nice and they're really good quality stuff. Questions? I'm trying to think. Got my hoses set up. We're going to do an immersion chiller today. I have a Therminator. I didn't want to add that into the mix today as well. I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to, you know, incorporate that into the system. I'm thinking from the boil kettle into the pump, out of the pump, Therminator, then into the conical, but I didn't want to mess around with that today, so I'm just going to do an immersion through the pump into the conical, because I wasn't sure of how much force, how quick the beer is going to come out of there, so I wanted to make sure it would run the conical. And there's the mash tun. and the HLT drying, all cleaned out. Yeah, those ready to go. Conicals full of sanitizer. I think that's about it. So do the final hop additions here and come back when it's chilling. Alright, since I forgot to make a yeast starter, which I'm pissed off I did, I forgot I had this. It's yeast nutrient. It's like this powdery stuff. You put it in 10 minutes and when the boil left. So I'm going to add that in there while we're doing Centennial for the last 10 and Cascade at 5, and then at Flame Out we do pound of corn sugar and some more Centennial. And we're going to chill it. We're going to stick the chiller in there in about 2 minutes. Alright, so wow, it's working. I'm draining the cooled wort from the kettle through the pump directly into the output of the conical. So I'm going to seal the conical up here. I was afraid I was going to have to dump it, but yeah, I didn't expect that to work at all. It worked like a charm. So I'm going to let this fill up, sit about half an hour, and then I'm going to pull the cold break off, and I'll let you guys see that, and I'm going to get something to drink and eat because I'm starving and thirsty, and there are the remains of the day. It's pulling out really quickly. So yeah, that's pretty much the brew day. Alright, it's been about half an hour. The beauty part about a conical is you can let all of the cold break fall to the bottom in about half an hour, and you can pull that off, which is what I'm about to do so that your beer doesn't sit on it. And then I'm going to add the yeast, and I'm going to pull a sample from over there to take the original gravity. I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand, so I'm going to do it and then show you the result. Alright, so there's the cold break. All that crap would have been sitting in the beer, fermenting on the beer. Oops, that's good. Had I not just pulled it. I'll probably do another jar and then pull a sample. Alright, so over here, I just pulled a sample. This is where I'm going to be pulling. You can pull all your gravities and all that stuff, so you don't have to open up the container every time. You just sanitize it, pop it open, put it in a cup, and you can taste it, test it, original gravity, whatever. The bottom one, you can also, after 4 or 5 days, I'm going to pull off a bunch of yeast. You can harvest yeast from it. So really, the conicals, they're freaking awesome. They work great. So I'm going to add the yeast into it and let it go in the fermentation closet. Hey guys, what's up? Chris here. This is day 3 of fermentation on the black IPA that you guys just saw me brew. And what I'm doing today is pulling off some of the yeast cake as well as most of the trub from the initial fermentation. So I already went ahead and did that. I sanitized that, open it up, and drain it off. And you can see kind of the 2 separations there between trub and yeast. I don't want to pull off much more yeast than that. I might pull off a little bit more, but I wanted to get all that trub off so it doesn't give off flavors into the beer. So that's another beautiful thing of a conical fermenter, is being able to do that. And at this point, if you wanted to start harvesting your yeast, this is how you would do it. You would basically, you know, day 3, or maybe probably day 2, pull off a lot of that trub. And then, you know, the next day, once all that yeast settles in there, you get a sanitized mason jar or whatever, just put it up here, sanitize everything, pull it, seal it up, and you've got yourself a really, really nice yeast starter. And it's super easy to do. You're getting it while it's fresh. You don't have to wait till the beer's fermented out like you would in a bucket. Yeah, so that's basically how you pull off the trub and yeast. And like I said, I'm going to do a little bit more here, and I'm also going to pull a sample just to taste it and check the gravity. But that's it, conical fermenters. One thing I will mention, I had right in here, around here, there's been beer seeping up around the knot here. And I just discovered it last night. There was a drip on the floor, like a syrupy black. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I noticed it's been seeping up around there, so I just tightened that down even more today. I've got pipe thread on and everything, so it's as tight as I can get it. So hopefully, it's been about 2 hours since that dude did that, and it's not, I don't see any seepage or anything coming up, but I'll just have to keep an eye on it. But yes, that's the Blickman Fermentator. Awesome stuff, and I will give you an update when I dry hop this in.